Are you thinking about buying a piece of land and building your dream home, or just putting a manufactured home on it? Before you get too excited and too involved in that, you gotta hear this. For first-time home buyers or just anybody looking to upgrade, this really sounds like a cheaper option. But is it really? There are some serious risks, and a lot of people don't even know about them before it's too late, or wasting a lot of time and energy looking for a piece of land that just isn't going to work. Hey everybody, I'm Jerry Norman with Oregon Life Homes. I've been selling real estate here for the last few years. I absolutely love it. I get calls all the time from people looking to purchase a lot or a ton of acreage just to put their dream home on it. But what those people don't realize is it is going to cost them way more to build or to put a manufactured home on it than they even have considered. I totally get it. The idea of buying a piece of land cheap, picking out every feature for your new home, and building it exactly the way you want it is really exciting. And honestly, sometimes it is the right move. But most people do not understand the hidden challenges that come with it. So, this video, I'm going to break it all down and make sure that this is the right option for you and you're going into it with your eyes wide open. So, let's get on with the video. So the first one, zoning and regulation issues. Before you even think about building, or probably even before you put an offer in on the property, can you even build on it? Every piece of property is zoned for specific uses, whether it's agricultural, farm use, forestry, or residential. There may be some zonings where you can't even build on it. That's why it's really critical to check with the zoning probably before you even make an offer, just to make sure that your uses and what you want to do with that property will even work. Number two, utilities. So that beautiful piece of property most likely does not have a well, septic, or even power to it. And these will make your costs skyrocket. Yes, that property might be cheap, but to bring water, you have to drill a well, or if it's in the city, you can tie into the city water, but that's going to be a cost. There's going to be a tie-in fee or a hookup fee, or drilling a well. If you're outside of the city limits, you're going to need to drill a well. Who knows if there's even water there? So when drilling a well, it's charged by how many feet that they have to go until they find water. So you really don't even know what your costs are going to be. Drilling a well could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Then we need to get into the septic. And if you're on a city lot, tying into the septic is going to be another charge. But if you're outside of the city limits, you're going to need to get a septic approval from the county. What kind of septic are you going to be able to put in there? And these septic systems are not cheap either. It can also cost tens of thousands of dollars. And going back to the water, your neighbor's well might have tons of water, but your property might not have any. It's really hard to know until you start drilling. So these are two huge risks that you're going to have to take after buying the property. Is there water? And can you put a septic in there? And how much is those going to cost? You don't know until you get started. So sometimes you can find a property that's got an old house, an old manufactured home on it, and there may be water, there may be a well, there may be a septic system, but it's just evaluating everything that comes with that property. So does it have a working well? Does it have a working septic system? Is there power connected? And we're going to get into power here in a minute. Is there a driveway cut in? Is there a cleared building lot? And is there housing plans that go with that? If not, you could be staring at major upfront costs before you even bring in a shovel. Installing all of these can be really expensive, and you really won't know how much it's going to cost until they start digging. Another major cost is power, bringing power. Is a utility company going to be able to run power, and how many poles are they going to need to put in, transformers, power boxes, whatever, just to bring it in. Now, if you're on a city lot, it's going to be a little cheaper, but they still got to run it, and you got to pay a connection charge to that. So these are all huge costs before you even start planning to build. And then when you do start building, there are tons of costs that can come before you even start building. Building permits, which can get pretty expensive. time and effort talking to the planning departments, whether it's in the city. If it's in the city, then you need to talk to the county also. And then if you're in the county, you need to talk to the county and the planning department and the building department to make sure that your plans are going to work for that specific lot. You're probably going to need a surveyor to come out and measure the lot, make sure that you're within the setbacks of the property, possible impact fees, tap fees for water, sewer, and power. And if you're in a city lot, possible street improvements like sidewalks, road approaches. These are going to cost some money as well. All these fees stack up really fast, and you're going to owe them before you even break ground. Next thing, timing. It's not going to be fast and it's not going to be cheap. If you're buying a home that's already built, it's going to take you 30 to 60 days to close, sometimes faster. But building from scratch, you are easily looking at 12 months to a year and a half. And if you have any unexpected problems, and you often will, such as wells not producing enough water, an expensive septic, permit delays, it can stretch it out even longer. Weather is a huge issue. Building and breaking ground in the wintertime, you're going to need to time that as well. And if you run late, it's really hard to get excavators in there when it's completely muddy. Or when there's fire risks, it's really hard to run excavators when there's a lot of fire risks as well. Speaking of fire risks, insurance to insure the home once it's built, can you even do it? In Oregon, we have a lot of wildfires and there are wildfire maps. So wildfire can be a danger and can be really expensive to get insurance, homeowners insurance, even if it can be insured at all. If your land is classified as a high fire risk, you might struggle finding coverage or have to pay a lot more than expected. So once you are built, are you going to be able to get internet there? Because most likely everybody now uses internet service, and you're going to need cell phone service at the property. Is there going to be internet and cell phone service there? Now there is Starlink, which is expensive and can be used in the remote areas, but are you going to have a good internet service and a good cell phone service at the property? So a lot of people, they look at these custom builder sites, Highline Homes, or even the manufactured home sites where their buildings are extremely cheap from the looks of it, but the added costs that are going to be involved is going to be way more than you're going to pay for a house that's already built. I know it sounds really appealing to be able to buy a cheap piece of property that looks amazing, but just to get the infrastructure to that property can be an overwhelming cost. Most first-time home buyers that I work with, they want to start building, but once they realize the cost, it just does not work. It just can't be done. Most first-time home buyers only have a certain amount to put down. So when you're building, you're going to need a significant amount of funds to be able to get this project going. And it is a project. Could be a 2-year project, 18 months project to get this completed. So the honest truth, buying land and building a home on it does sound amazing, but most of the time it's the riskiest and the most expensive way to become a homeowner. There are just so many unknowns, and every single one can add months of delay and thousands of dollars to your budget. For most first-time home buyers or those thinking of upgrading, buying an existing home, even if it needs a little bit of updating, is often way more affordable and less stressful. And yes, sometimes even renovating can cost far less than building from scratch. So if you are still planning on buying a piece of property and building, you need to protect yourself. Just make sure you hire a licensed surveyor to verify the property boundaries and check for easements and encroachments. Do a full research on zoning, utilities, and permitting before you close. With an experienced real estate agent who knows the ins and outs of buying land and not just homes can often help you a lot. Can get you in contact with the right people in the county, cities, and contractors. Buying land and building a home could still be a good option, but only if you go in it with your eyes wide open. If you're thinking about buying land, building, or just trying to find your first home, I'm here to help you figure out the best move for your situation without the expensive surprises. Feel free to give me a call, text, email. All that contact info is in the description below, or just drop me a comment down below. I'd love to answer your questions and help you get started right away. And if you are a first-time home buyer, I've got a first-time home buyer's guide in the description down below, and also a great relocation guide in the description down below. And if you're not from Roseburg and want to know what it's like to live here, take a look at these other videos. One's right there, one's right there. All right. So with that, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later.